Hello everybody, here we are this day at Truly Tropical, and the Fruitful Five is going to be here today doing a video. We're waiting for Julian Lara to come, and we got Chris and Alex here. Chris from Truly Tropical and Alex from Tropical Acres, and Bobby of course is coming. We're going to have a lot of fun today filming, and it's going to be great, and we just want to let people know about the great things that are going on with the mango world here, and also other tropical fruits that they sell here. So I'm really excited. It's been many years since Alex has been here from Tropical Acres Farms, and I love collaborating with other mango growers and making these. Tom from Sleepy Lizard Avocado Farm is supposed to be here but not feeling well today, so he's going to miss this one. But definitely will be in future ones. And I've been here many times before. We're about to get started. Every time I come in, this place looks better and better. A whole bunch of great trees for sale, big trees with fruit on them and labeled really well. We're going to have a great time today, and they should be here any second now. So this is going to be wonderful. So here we are at Truly Tropical. I'll put the address and the links to everyone below that's going to be joining us here today. And excited, so excited. Okay, while we're waiting in the area here, when you walk in, this is the area where she has a lot of the trees that are for sale. And wow, look at this. There's a fruit punch right there. A sugar loaf. Look at all the fruit on this sugar loaf. Wow. Pink sun moon.
Yeah, and that's why.
Look at this Super Alfonso. Just wonderful. All these different trees, and as you saw last time we were here, she has some trees that are actually. There's a lemon zest that have our own name trees. So we're gonna have a really exciting time here today. All right, here's some of the crew as we're waiting for them to come. This is Alexis. He's been on many of my videos, and this is Chris from Truly Tropical.
And I'm from the Midwest originally, so I'm
and here's
different watermelons and stuff like from the Midwest.
Here's Shannon. Shannon's gonna help us out with some video today. Yep. And here's Alex from Tropical Acres Farms. And we're just waiting for Julian, Bobby, and we're gonna have a great time showing them around here at this amazing mango farm. So it's gonna be great. Look at all those trees over there. All right, we're gonna get started soon. Thank you all for coming on out. All right. So what we're gonna do here is, this is the Fruitful Five, but Tom's missing today because he wasn't feeling well. So we were gonna have the Fruitful Five and an extra guest. But now you are part of the Fruitful Five, because Tom's not here today. But we're representing Tom. I have his hat on. So I'm going to pass around this. And I know Chris wanted to show us. I'll do an introduction later, but Chris wanted to show you around this area first and then over to the tables. And then we'll take a full walk around the yard. And just like we did last time, Alex and Julian haven't been here for a long time. And Bobby, you've been here quite often.
I've been here a few times.
All right.
So welcome to Truly Tropical. I've been here since the last millennium. It's 1999. And things have changed a lot. And they keep changing every year. And what's a change of pace this morning is that there are a bunch of really wonderful people in the mango business that have stopped by to sort of see the place and to talk tropical fruits. So I'm just going to pass it over here to Julian, who came up from Homestead.
Yeah, I love the fact that we can all get together and hang out, and you know, other than that, we're friends. So this is not like a really a hard thing to do. But I'm really glad I'm here. It's the first time I come here, and I've always wanted to come and see your place, and I'm, as you know, my expectations were met tenfold. I see fruit set everywhere, and very little disease. I'm just envious of this location that your farm is in.
A little different from Homestead for you. I mean, it's like there are some things that you can do in Homestead that we can't do here easily.
Right, maybe like breadfruit or something.
Yeah.
But the Homestead, I'm a little bit north of Homestead. I'm in the Redlands, so it's a little bit north, but really west. Homestead is more or less in the same latitude, more or less, but since the peninsula like curves in a little bit, Homestead ends up being closer to the ocean than in the Redlands by many miles. So I'm really inland, so I have to do a lot of spraying, but I just blown back with all this fruits that you have here. It's just amazing, amazing. Bobby.
All right, so happy to see Chris again. I've been to her place. I would say 3 years ago. I would be a fairly regular visitor, but I haven't been here since the last 3 years. But good to see her trees. They're doing really great. Uh, I watch her videos a lot. So one of the reasons I got into mangoes. I see she pruned her trees. Uh, that's a great idea. I keep my trees pruned also. But this location is much better than my location, which is Loxahatchee Groves. We are slightly more humid and more cooler than her, colder at least by 5 degrees. Uh, so a lot less diseases here. So she can also, grow things without much pest management. So it looks pretty good. I see small fruits have formed. I'm still at my flowering stage, so I'm just about to get small fruits. But she has, I see several trees have already formed fruits. So this is great to see and great to come back here.
Give it to Alex.
I invited Chris to do the videos with us as the Fruitful Five from the first date, but she was busy, unfortunately. But I'm so glad that she's here with us now to be in the Fruitful Five.
Okay, I'm Alex, and my company is Tropical Acres Farms in the city of West Palm Beach. I have been here before, but it's been about, I guess, 12 years since I was last here on a couple occasions. But of course, I would run into Chris periodically in the nursery trade, and I'm excited to see this place after not seeing it for a very long time and see all the changes she's made and how certain varieties of fruit are doing. So it's exciting, and hopefully we'll get to keep doing events like this. So
It's like we're actually, I think, the closest to each other of anyone. Obviously, Julian is, way south, and Bobby is, north and west, and so we happen to be fairly close. Our farms are pretty close, and unfortunately, people get them confused. And I'm guessing they, some people, show up at your place thinking they've come to my place, but a lot of people come here and they say, "Well, I've got a plant waiting," and like, I don't think so. And so,
Wow.
there are two different businesses here. Truly Tropical and Tropical Acres, and so I'm sure that there's still going to be some confusion, and we get emails sometimes from people who've shopped with you and all sorts of things, and so it's just something to remember. Two different places that both have tropical in their name.
Julian came up with this idea of the Fruitful Five, and Tom, who's not with us here today from Sleepy Lizard Avocado Farm, I have his hat, will be joining us next time. But it's interesting because we have Julian, who's way south of here in the Homestead Redlands area, who's growing everything. He has so much different tropical fruits, and he sells it mail order and sells all these trees. And mamey is something, he even has a mamey on his shirt here. And then we have Chris, whose her website and her farm here is great. She sells all these amazing mangoes, and she sells other fruits as well. But she has such amazing videos online about teaching people about different particular mango varieties, and it's gotten so many people into this mango craze thing, and it's just been amazing. And then we have Alex, who has probably the biggest private collection of different varieties of mangoes, and his farm, you just can get and taste so many different varieties of mangoes each year, and he has wonderful videos. He lets me and others, we come out often. I've been out to all their farms and did videos. And then we have Bobby, and Bobby's really interesting because Bobby has a mad passion for growing things that are real difficult to grow, and just taking things that are really complicated and trying to accomplisher, like a trailblazer, and he has a greenhouse here on his house in Loxahatchee, Florida, and we've been there many times. And he's trying to fruit durian in his greenhouse. He has how many seedlings do you have or how many durian seedlings do you have in your greenhouse?
I have about 300 seedlings.
How many grafts?
About 50 of those.
50.
Bobby not only is a fruit collector, he's a fruit hunter. He travels the world and he tries to bring back as much things as possible he can get through the airport.
No, I have an import permit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's the real deal.
Yeah, so this is great. Great idea just to collaborate with each other here. Chris is going to show us around Truly Tropical Farm here today, and we're going to be back doing other events as well. So we're going to check it out now, and put your comments and questions below, and thank you all for watching and coming on out.
Okay.
Anybody has an opinion on black sapote and how to eat it, get in front of the camera.
Yeah. So we have been talking about black sapote. So we just came over to black sapote tree. We actually still have a few fruit on it. But what I was really interested in is different ways to enjoy black sapote.
Right.
And Julian was just telling me about Mexico and what they do there. And so,
yes. Well, in Mexico, what's native to Central America, especially
right.
Mexico.
Coastal regions, really, right?
Right. So what they do over there is they mash it up, make like a little mashed potato with it, and they mix it with salted peanuts. And they just mix it up all together and eat it like that. And another way to prepare this fruit that they do over there is you put it in a blender, and instead of milk, because I like making like a milkshake with it, right?
Right, yeah.
Tastes just like Nestle Quick. You put milk and sugar, and you put it in the blender with the black sapote. It's delicious. But in Mexico, instead of the milk, they put orange juice in the blender with the black sapote, and zip it up, and they drink it. It's supposed to be really good. I haven't done it personally,
Yeah.
but it's on my list.
Yeah, black sapote is not acid at all, and so it gets the acid from the, so you get sort of a sweet sour kind of thing. With
It's
that
not
orange juice.
acid at all, but it is, I think, one of the fruits with the highest vitamin C content in the world.
And it's surprisingly rather high in fiber. And it's such a smooth fruit, but it's actually high in fiber.
How can it be more fibrous than a mamey?
I know, it's crazy, right?
The best way I found to have it is to slice it in half and sprinkle orange juice on top of it and just eat it with a spoon.
Oh, look, you
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah.
Now,
Really
now,
good.
what do you do?
With black sapote, well, I don't have any trees anymore, but at my own farm in Loxahatchee, I did have a few. And I made like banana bread out of
Oh,
it.
that
like,
sounds great.
Black sapote bread.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's what I remember doing.
So I'm going to try mamey bread one time. It's like
Yeah.
banana bread, but with mamey.
Now tell them about the black sapote. It's literally in a persimmon family, and you could take a persimmon rootstock. I mean, a black sapote rootstock and graft
Persimmon.
Yes.
persimmon on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah, closely related. Some varieties of black sapote taste more like persimmon than others. I
Yeah.
think that
The Berniker.
Berniker is
Berniker
popular.
is regarded as the best of all the black
and
sapote.
Rheinica has that persimmon flavor.
My
Is it
favorite-
Reinecker or Breinecker?
Reineke.
Reineke.
Reineke. I got that back in the late 90s from Chris Rollins at the Fruit Spice Bar. And that was his favorite. It looks like a Saturn peach, like one of those, but big.
Yeah, it's flat.
Yeah,
and
I've seen
big.
those
Yeah,
before.
Yeah.
I used to harvest a big old one of those in Loxahatchee. It's just like compressed like that.
And they're very dense. It's a very dense black sapote, not watery like, say maybe the Berniker or the what's the other one? Everberry. There's one called Everberry. I got that at the Fruit Spice Park that has two crops.
Yeah. There's I've got one from Pine Island that is supposed to be really good. It hasn't. It's not big enough to produce yet, so I don't know. The one behind us is from Excalibur, and it's mostly seedless.
That's the one I was going to mention right now.
Yeah.
That Richard Wilson said he had one that was seedless. And is it mostly seedless or completely seedless?
I have never had a seed in it, but I've heard that there are occasionally seeds or a seed in the fruit.
Okay, I'm taking some photos.
Yeah,
Actually, there is
with
a-
the straight bud,
Richard
right?
Wilson had a sapodea also. That's Wilson called Wilson Seedless. He also had the black sapote with Wilson Seedless. It's not the best tasting.
Well, I have a
sapote.
Wilson seedless,
It's not
but
the
it's
best
not,
tasting
it's
sapote
not
either.
seedless. My Wilson seedless is not seedless.
Yeah, that's
But
too bad.
the-
I think
the-
that they mix up stuff sometimes when they graft it. So.
I have a black sapote that I consider to be the best, but I haven't tasted Reineke before. So the Reineke might be better, but the one that I have, I had like canned trees, because back in the days they used to call this chocolate pudding fruit, and it didn't taste like chocolate pudding. So I had seedlings of canned trees, and I chopped off 9 and I kept only 1.
The one you like the best.
the one I like the best, but it's way better than all of it. It's almost like it's very sweet, first of all, and
Wow, so that right there is a big deal.
and the way I pick my black Sapot is I let it tree ripen. I don't pick it.
Me too.
It has to be not has to be, but it's
I let it fall to the ground.
if you let it fall to the ground, the
It's
bugs
flat.
get to it and it splatters.
When I every day I drive by my golf cart.
Yes.
And if I see something new on the ground, I take out my plastic spoon and I start trying it. And that's the sweetest way to eat it.
It is the one I have is almost as sweet as a mamey almost. Almost.
Really?
I would say about 80% as sweet as a mamey. It's really sweet. The one I have.
I feel like
Have you named
we
And
should
I-
all be trading cyan
And I
here. Yeah.
and the way I pick
Are
it
you
is I
selling
go
it?
by
I'm sold.
Yeah.
and I check it if it's soft. If you can dent it like an avocado, it's ready to
A
be.
sweet-
And
What,
it's
Name it.
no, I haven't named it. It's a seedling.
Called the Bizwas.
But there is a good way to eat mamey black sapote in a dish. Is if you make those those egg white the cakes like an angel cake like any cake layer, right? And you use the black sapote in layers of cake toppings
Oh, like icing.
yeah,
like an icing,
Yeah,
but you
it's
don't
like
have
whipped
to add
cream
sugar to
almost.
it.
The consistency is almost
Yeah.
of whipped cream.
yeah, I have one customer that uses it on toast. You know, she spreads it on toast. Yeah.
Toast or any kind of layered cake like
Yeah.
a layering you do, and then you cut it at a
Yeah.
pie.
Now you
cube.
want something to put on toast. I made a guanabana preserve jam.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is phenomenal.
Cheesecake.
I
or
made a
ice
mamey
cream.
jam, and that jam tastes so good with like cream cheese.
Well,
Together.
my two favorite jam jelly preserves, whatever. Pitonga.
Oh,
Oh,
pitonga.
so
Oh my
excellent.
gosh.
And it's worth growing the tree just to make the jam.
Really?
What about
Yeah.
orange marmalade?
And jaboticaba.
Jabuticaba
Jaboticaba
jam.
jam.
Great.
You know?
Both of it's like when you start eating it, you're like, oh, it's like grape jelly, and then it just explodes in your mouth with all these other flavors.
The jaboticaba.
Yeah.
I want to do pitonga. though.
Yeah, Potomba is really good. I tasted. I only had a little bit just on the edge of the spoon with Scott, years ago. He tasted it and he's like, "I have to grow a hedge of this just for the, making the preserve."
So make it a preserve. Wow. Who knew?
Yeah.
Now, Mamere Americana makes an incredible preserve too. I don't know if you ever had that before. Have you tried the fruit Mamere Americana?
I brought one
Mamey
from your
apple.
place, and she nibbled on it and said it's not for me.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I
I love
That's
that.
why she was
I
keeping
love that.
quiet. Like,
I
ah.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. How I like to eat black sapote. Well, first off, what I do when I pick it is actually I wait for the cap to lift off of the fruit.
You can fit a paper.
You can see daylight underneath it. I cut it there at that point, and it will take maybe a week to ripen up inside, sometimes a little longer. But I lose none of the fruit to squirrels that way.
Yeah.
And I'm actually putting a hedge of black sapote right next to the fence because I'll be picking it at that stage, and so they are completely not interested in fruit. at that
Putting it
point.
in a place where it's
Yeah.
highly populated by squirrels,
Yeah.
knowing that you can pick
Yeah.
it before they damage it.
Yeah.
And they don't like to eat it green.
No, they don't. They won't even. I mean, they go for a smell, and they're like,
What is it with that fruit? Because when you pick it green and you cut it, it oxidizes, it turns black immediately. It goes from yellow to black in front of your eyes, like a Polaroid.
But persimmons, you could freeze them and it'll ripen and then it thaw out. But I don't know if you do that with black
Yeah,
sapote.
persimmons is that's another really good fruit.
Yeah.
But I like having more than one variety of the black sapote because of the different seasons that each variety has and such. And so, I have 3 trees right now, different varieties, and I'm, like always looking for other ones. So, these other wonderful varieties.
Reineke, you gotta have a Reineke. And the
I have
Bizwas.
Reineke.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do have that one.
Oh,
So-
you need the Berniker.
I have Berniker.
Oh, you have us. You're good.
So
Oh, you
since
need his now.
Julian is an expert on kaimitos, and we are standing in front of a loaded kaimito tree, what would be your few
I
ways?
forgot about that part.
How old is this tree?
That one is pretty old. Unfortunately, it was an air layer that I bought, and so it has tipped over twice with hurricanes. And but it's I think I've got some ripe ones that we can try.
That is
One
the
right here.
best way to. You do not want a seedling kaimito. That is a waste of time.
This one's
Yeah,
soft.
this is not seedling. But it's
Either air layer or grafted
This
is the way
is
to go.
Haitian Star, I think.
No, not ready yet.
It's soft.
It's good to have some color on it, I think. Oh yeah, there you go. That's beautiful.
Oh, is this a purple tree? Or
Yeah, it's purple.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's soft. That one's
Yeah.
probably good.
Well, we got one that's even better.
Yeah, this one's even better.
Yeah.
Caimito.
Who's got a knife?
Native. No, we don't need a knife. We don't need a knife. We just pull this guy out like that,
And then
just crack it open.
oh,
So that's the milk.
Here, Chris.
well, I mean, there you go.
Chris is gonna fast till tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. It's like got all this.
I'll cut that one for you.
Well, I'm
Very
not-
good.
So I'll let you welcome to whatever you.
Chris, did you say the variety, or did you know the variety of this?
Yeah, it's Haitian Star.
Oh, Haitian Star is a very established variety.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that from Bob Sawyer, I think. It's definitely a
Very nice.
really nice guy from the River Fruit Council.
You
Tom
don't get any
Sawyer.
worms in these, do
Bob
you?
Sawyer.
No, the latex kind of stops the worms from getting
Well,
in.
some of them get them. Some of them
Really?
get worms. Yeah.
No, they get a beetle that bores inside the stem, and then you see like a little crack on the side, and it's too late. But you just cut the top off the fruit, and the rest of it's fine. But it is becoming a problem, at least for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in anything, but I'll definitely keep an eye out. See if
So
there's
they're still
that-
edible?
Yeah, you
Here and
usually
there?
see like a little crack here on the side, or both, and even the stem cracks
Wow.
in the middle, kind of splits in the middle.
Are they still edible if that happens?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
But nobody likes to see bugs inside the fruit, even if it's just superficial.
right, yeah. And most things, like I just eat around whatever the.
That's what I do.
is. It's like everything else is good, especially if the squirrels have gotten into it. They have, already picked the very nicest fruit.
Exactly, they
It's
scratch it for us.
Perfect ripeness, everything, and
Yeah. Yeah, they take a bite off of a may and then knock it down.
Oh,
And then when they're right, and then I pass by, I see it on the floor, and I just cut the part out that the squirrel ate and eat the rest.
Yeah.
It's hard
Squirrels
to.
prefer fattier food like nuts and avocados. And,
Yeah, but they love mamey and avocado.
yeah.
Mamey
Avocado
and
they
avocado,
love.
they love it.
They like
Mangoes they don't
a lot.
like actually.
And
They-
mangoes.
Yeah, the ones,
Mangoes they chew and they leave. They won't move to the next mango.
yeah, they don't eat
ruin
the whole
mangoes.
thing, but
They
they'll
don't
eat
And avocado.
pretty-
they love it.
Avocados
Just take
they-
one bite and then knock it down.
So how come you eat a cow but you won't eat a bug in your food?
Who are we talking
Nobody
about
eats
here?
bugs.
Probably who we
Well,
talking about.
everybody
Eat
eats bugs. They just don't know it.
At least
When
I've
you are
never-
sleeping, you've got some bugs coming into your mouth.
Or even in guava.
I do that.
Yep, that's true.
Or in loquat.
Yeah,
At least for us.
there's no such thing as a vegetarian. You're eating bugs.
Even in your sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you have a
The old
beard like
wives'
this, the
tale
bugs
rumor
aren't
is
getting
you
you.
Or
swallow
maybe they're
Yeah.
They're already in there.
Yes.
They're already in there inside
It's
him.
like, okay, as soon as the
They're not
eyes
getting
close,
through
let's
the
go.
beard. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to eat it conscious. I mean, I'm sure.
So I've been watching some videos recently on abu, and I bought an abu tree, two of them actually. Is it related to physically the Caimito?
Yeah.
A lot of the tastings, they say there's flavor similarities.
Sure, the texture, everything, but it's a different fruit. It's called Palteria caimito.
Okay.
And the botanical name of this is Chrysophyllum caimito. So abu even has the real name of the caimito.
Caimito.
It's Palteria caimito.
I think somebody just had a spelling mistake. Is it an M or an N? Well, let's do one way.
It could have
or
been
the
a
other.
spelling mistake. Who knows? That was
Good.
interesting.
Very good.
So, yeah. I don't know what else there's to say about we started Black Sapot and went over to Caimito.
There's Sapodillo.
We were standing
Oh,
right
yeah,
next to it, so
Got Sapodilla back here. Yeah, I didn't tell you my favorite way to eat Black Sapot.
How was that?
Refrigerate, and then I pull the top off, break it in half, and eat it with
spoon.
peanut butter.
Oh.
Wow. That's good.
Peanut butter and chilled black sapote.
Yeah, and the peanut butter's chilled too because it's like to organic stuff. So
You know what I do with my canistel when I eat like a Fairchild #2 canistel? I get a spoon, get a little bit out, and have some guava yogurt, and I dip the spoon in the guava yogurt and I eat it together. That's phenomenal.
The best way to eat a black sapote is to get a black sapote and a durian, and give the black sapote to somebody else and eat the durian.
Chris let me try a Canistel granola, grain-free Canistel granola that she makes recently. It was really good.
Not cooked or anything.
maybe
Just rolled.
feed it to a goat.
Well, I did. Yours was the one that was cooked, but I was making a second batch with the very last Canistell of the season, and I don't use measurements. I just add a little salt, add a little, and
Do it by
in that
eyeball.
case, like a
Eyeballing
little
it.
maple syrup in there, and then nuts and stuff like that. And I tasted it, and I'm like, why should I cook this? It is so good, like it is. So I ate it all.
What I tasted was very good.
Yeah, I know. It makes great granola.
Yeah, I didn't realize it didn't have any grain in it until you told me. Too.
Yeah.
It was good, and it left to me Canistell when it's heated, whether it's dehydrated or whatever, it gets a bitterness or a kind of an aftertaste, and it
like
seemed
an
to avoid
OX.
that doing it that
Really,
way.
you know, I dehydrated a whole bunch of raw Sapotis
It's like
last
an
year,
OX.
and I sold them online, and they were delicious. And they were still moist
Yeah.
after being
I don't think
dehydrated
so.
24 hours.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, if you leave them in the refrigerator for a couple of years, it's like
it's kind of
breaking teeth when you eat them. They just
I've had some. It depends on the variety. There's some varieties that are hard as a rock when you dehydrate it, but the raw stays soft and moist even after dehydrated.
What kind of sapodilla
What
is that?
sapot is that?
Yeah, that is Molish.
Molix.
Molish.
Yeah, Molish is I guess the
The
Right,
pronunciation
yeah.
of the Indians.
yeah, and so but
Why not Molly?
Or Molex.
Molish is what the indigenous pronounce the X.
yeah, it's like in Mexico, that X
Right,
is
that's what I was
not,
saying,
yeah,
like
so
a
it's
Oh, so that's
yeah.
Molex?
Molish.
Yeah, Molish.
Say
Or
what?
Molish.
Yeah. So we could keep walking and see the
Sure.
other sapodilla.
Oh, you got a Alano here?
I do.
That's from Milano, yeah.
So
Milano produces a lot.
yeah, it's hard to tell.
What a beautiful Alano. Now, it's not that dwarfy after all.
No, of course it's been in the ground for a while. but
For decades.
we cut it back, and it's just crazy.
It doesn't stop. Now, your Alano, Alex, is just a fraction of the size.
Yeah, it's
Do
like,
you cut yours back or naturally it stays low?
well, I have to take budwood off, but so like I take the budwood off the top of the tree, and I suppose it kind of forces it outward because of the active pruning.
My-
But ours isn't just sold
My
anyway.
Alano tree is 20 years old and it's probably a third the size of yours.
Now, Chris, you have a second Alano that got hit by a truck and it stayed a bush, right?
Yeah, I know. It's
So
like,
if you hit it with a truck, it'll stay small.
Yeah, it's about this tall, very productive, and people say, "How do you get it to work?" As well,
Maybe
step
that's
one
what he
is
needs
to
to
hit
do.
it with a truck, because it's like it
The
got run.
setback is so much that it's still recovering, I guess?
Well, no, I mean it's years ago, but I mean it's not in a great place as far as a lot of nutrition and water and that kind of stuff. But it makes really nice crop.
I guess as the water rolls down over there,
yeah, and there's a lot of
organic
material dropping from the the different
leaves
trees
and
and stuff. Then we got the final thing on this tour here is the Jobo de Cava, and we actually have some fruit that I saved on here for y'all.
Thank you.
And,
Do you fertilize these, Chris?
not really. It gets a lot of mulch and stuff like that. Does everybody have one, or probably still could use a couple more?
Can the camera see for a second? Thank you. These are awesome. Huge.
Cameraman, got to eat some.
How old is that tree?
I think it's about 20 years old. This one is the same age, but this one has gotten knocked over twice by hurricanes, and it doesn't produce very much at all. And this one is just a star performer. You can't get much more similar in the environment of each of those, but it definitely paid the price as far as getting
beautiful.
knocked over by the hurricane.
Jabuticaba is one of the prettiest trees, ornamental.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
beautiful. Canada is this.
Yeah, and I've seen them tuned in several different ways. Sometimes they'll clear everything, just have a single trunk, and then have it come out, and that's pretty cool when you have just this big trunk of the tree, and it's just loaded with fruit. Very easy to pick that way, too.
Is that your
but then-
tree over there, that big giant tree?
Oh, yeah, we might as well look over here. This is one of my projects. We had a massive lychee tree here, and of course the Aranos might hit, and I cannot spray anything every 2 weeks. And so I decided that the best thing to do is to use it as sort of a base to eventually grow vines and stuff all over.
Oh, no, dragon fruit.
Yeah, dragon fruit and some monstera
Yep.
and stuff like that. And then this has now become like my future
Trellis.
mini fruit forest kind of thing. But you know, like the lychee wood is just gorgeous. You know, it's like once the bark comes off, it's like art. You know, just really smooth, really
grain.
hard, and you know that the whole thing's going to eventually look like this.
Maybe you can stain the wood.
I don't know. I think it's going to be good just like it is. I mean, and you know, it's going to have things growing on it and such. So yeah, and it sort of looks like a desert tin
This
or
was a
whatever,
Brewster?
but with the stuff breaking off of it. But
This was a Brewster?
yeah, but you know, just the whole grain and everything in wood is just gorgeous. And this is pretty funny. This is a mango tree that I never planted. It was a seed that some animal brought in, and it's flowering. So I'm hoping it's a good variety, but I have no idea. Yeah, you can
Classic flower, classic flavor.
classic flavor. So yeah, maybe we'll have a tasting party in the mango season.
Yeah.
You know, nobody here is busy during mango season, right?
Nah.
But yeah, that's fun. So I'm just putting in different things. I had a bunch of bromeliads that a friend of mine gave me, so I figured what the heck, put them around. And I think that there's, you know, I've got a few mangoes that I've that were actually seedlings and such on this other side, and I just top worked them, and so that they're working trees now. But yeah, we got a couple trees there, and yeah, this is going to outlast me. I mean, this is the hardest wood in the world. Yeah.
So what Gary Zill mango have people caught on to the most?
I'd say Pineapple Pleasure, the best one. Yeah, that's a very nice one. One of my favorites. I love.
You get a lot of demand for that one.
Yeah, we sell out of that. We sell it fruit punch too.
Fruit punch?
Yeah.
I was speaking on your behalf, Miss Chris, so I hope it's okay. Talking about the Julie being grafted, this is Hayden, right?
Right.
The other half of it's all Julie, and the Hayden isn't taking over the Julie. As a matter of fact, the Julie seems to be doing wonderful.
Yeah.
And then I showed off your high grafted Julie row. So.
Yeah, I really like to graft Julie on big trees because it just keeps them small. So
That's the one she was talking
I
about.
sort of test things out, but Julie's just I think it does better if you graft it on something big than if you have a normal size thing.
This is the one you like a lot, right?
Yeah,
That's one I think is the best I had last year.
Yeah, that's the one you were talking about.
Oh, that's the one you're talking
Yeah, Carpe Diem.
And then Lemonish is another one that they like.
about. Carpe Diem is the one.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Complex flavor.
That's the thing is, I don't even know how to totally quantify. It's not overly sweet. It's got a good level of sweetness, but it's a very complex flavor. I wouldn't venture a guess as to what parents it has, but yeah, it's delicious. It's really good. I don't know much about
Mary
Marco,
mango.
other than what I saw in videos. It hangs on the tree a long
CC
time. and
love.
Bugs or
Yes,
Hey.
squirrels don't get to
Yeah.
it.
Alex.
That's Richard's
it's,
wife.
I know.
It's really nice.
Doesn't this look like one of the mangoes we had to identify?
We get very much fruit last year.
Over there?
This year.
Like that first one?
None of them were in the Chinese smell. And this is
Yeah,
in the
it
Chinese.
probably is related to either
Sassy
cotton
dog.
candy or
It's gonna have an
Oh, really?
Chinese smell.
Interesting.
it has characteristics of both of those. So it's like,
Very nice.
yeah.
I guarantee you the
So we're talking about the variety Marco that she had created, and she was talking about the parentage of it might be cotton candy, or what was the other one?
Orange essence.
Or orange essence, for that one Marco that she's recently just released.
It's a seedling of a orange essence.
We
Might
don't know.
Might be.
It might be, but it's got characteristics of both of those, the orange essence and the cotton candy. So, in fact, the fruit is one of the picks of that fruit got sold as cotton candy because the person looked at it and thought it's cotton candy, but it doesn't taste like cotton candy. Does it? So,
But it hangs on the tree a long time without getting overripe, and squirrels don't seem to like it. And
yeah,
So late season or early season?
It's not early. I'd say that it's the later part of mid-season. But yeah, really nice mango, and yeah, the plant is like right next to the fence. We have squirrels running down there and hitting mangoes all along that fence, and not one was hit with that. And I think it's just the smell of the skin or something because it was just really loaded. I let one. It also hangs on the tree a long time. The fruit does after it gets ready to pick, but doesn't spoil it. It's just hanging there. So I left the last mango of the season just hanging, and it was really close to the ground, and trees really close to the fence, and it finally fell when finally a squirrel started to eat it, and so it was like 2 weeks after you could have picked it, and it was hit by a squirrel. So it's just it's really a good variety, period. But it's really a good variety for me next to that fence because so many mango trees down there get hit with the squirrels.
All right, everybody. What an epic day that was. An epic meeting. I'm looking forward to this video getting out, people seeing it. And I want to remind everybody, Father's Day, we're all going to have a big event, a tasting event, a mango tasting event. But thanks for watching the Fruitful Five. And that's representing Tom. I'll put his link below. He wasn't able to make it today. He wasn't feeling well, but this was great. Thank you, Chris, for having us coming out to Truly Tropical. And for everyone for watching, have a great day, everybody, and keep growing.